Next, in second example, you see here, OH present carbon is called alpha carbon, adjacent carbon it is a beta 1, it is beta 2, because there are two beta carbons, beta 1, beta 2. Now tell me, from the alpha carbon remove OH, all right, from the beta carbon remove H, but here beta 1, beta 2, whether beta 1, beta 2 same or different, they are same, because CH3, CH3. So beta 1, beta 2 are same. Since both the beta carbons are same, you can remove the H from either beta 1 or beta 2. So you can remove either the side, that means any one of the side. So therefore the product is, I'll remove from this side CH3 as it is, CH double bond CH2. It is a propene is a gas. That is also propene. Next, now in first one we left, no? First one, tell me. It is alpha, it is beta. From the alpha remove OH, from the beta H. So therefore it is ethene. Ethene is a gas. Propene also gas. It is also propene. You must write the product names. Next here, come on, tell me, this is again, this is important. OH present carbon is alpha carbon, adjacent carbon it is a beta 1, it is beta 2. There are two beta carbons, beta 1, beta 2. So anyhow, from alpha carbon we remove OH, it's all right, no doubt. But beta 1, beta 2 both are similar. When not similar, sorry. Beta 1 is CH3, beta 2 is CH2. Both are not as similar. When alcohol contain two or more beta carbons and which are different, then follow Sage-Joffe rule. Come on, tell me, what is Sage-Joffe rule? Sage-Joffe rule. It is also called Zaitsev rule. Sage-Joffe rule, the statement, everything we have studied in haloalkane topic, haloalkane, halorane topic, but there I have given one hint. Okay, like one tagline. So what is the hint for Sage-Joffe rule? Poorer become poor. Yes. So poorer become poor. So do you know what is the meaning of poorer become poor? So poorer means in society those who are poor people. What is the Kannada? Baduru. In a baduru agtare. Right? So like poorer become poor. So therefore here this is alpha, right? Remove OH. It is beta. It is hydrogen. It is hydrogen here. Which carbon is poorer carbon? Poor carbon here. Beta 2. Therefore remove the hydrogen from here. It means the product is CH3, CH double bond CH, CH3. Right? So this is the product. So according to Sage-Joffe rule or Zaitsev rule. So first statement, you go through haloalkane, halorane topic. Next here, come on, tell me, this is OH, it is alpha carbon, beta 1, it is beta 2, it is beta 3. Beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. There are three different carbon, no, three beta carbon, but three beta carbons are same. When three beta carbons are same, you need not to go for Sage-Joffe rule. So therefore, come on, tell me, it is CH2, remove from hydrogen here, okay, then CH3, CH3, okay, it is isobutene. So therefore, these are the some important reactions of dehydration of alcohol. Next we have mechanism. Take down. Right. So let us see mechanism of dehydration of alcohol. Let us take example, ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid or heated with concentrated sulfuric acid at 170 degree Celsius. 170 degree Celsius. What it forms? It undergo dehydration. No, remove the OH from alpha carbon, H from beta carbon. Then the product is CH2 double bond CH2 plus of course water is formed. No, this is ethene. Now let us see its mechanism. This dehydration of course, ethyl alcohol. This dehydration of ethyl alcohol, takes place. Its mechanism, carried out in 3 steps. So therefore, let us take mechanism. This mechanism has 3 steps. It is carried out in 3 steps. 3 steps. First is protonation of alcohol. Protonation of alcohol is a first step. Second step is formation of carbocation. Second step. And third step is elimination of proton, or nothing but we call deprotonation. Elimination of proton, nothing but deprotonation to form alkene. So therefore, there are 3 steps. One, protonation of alcohol. Alcohol undergo protonation. Second, formation of carbocation, elimination of proton to form alkene. Let us see one by one. First is protonation of alcohols. Right. In protonation of alcohol, let us take first what is the role of acid. Here acid is sulfuric acid. No, sulfuric acid undergo dissociation. It form H plus HSO4 minus. Let us take ethyl alcohol. Now this ethyl alcohol, oxygen has 2 lone pair, we know it, and this is undergo protonation H plus. So that means ethyl alcohol undergo protonation to form ethyl oxonium ion. Okay, therefore here see, ethyl alcohol has 2 lone pairs. No, this one of the lone pair donated to H plus ion. Then what happens? It forms ethyl group is as it is. Then this oxygen, it donated one lone pair, it becomes positive. Then it is already one hydrogen is there. There is a one more H comes. This is called ethyl oxonium ion. Names are important. You must remember ethyl oxonium ion, and moreover this mechanism is very, very important, students. In board exam, we can expect. So therefore, this is a ethyl alcohol undergo protonation to form ethyl oxonium ion. Then what is the statement? You must write statement also. Statement in heading: ethyl alcohol undergo protonation to form ethyl oxonium ion. Whatever we have written equation form now, that equation you write in statement. That's it. You need not to buy anything. Okay, this is step 1. In step 1 we got ethyl oxonium ion, which is highly unstable. Why ethyl oxonium ion is highly unstable? Because here oxygen carrying positive charge. We know that more electronegative element carry negative charge, all right, because it has more electronegativity, it's supposed to carry negative charge. But if more electronegative element carry positive charge, this is highly unstable. Why? Because it has more electronegativity and even it's carrying positive charge, then it's highly unstable. So therefore ethyl oxonium ion highly unstable. Next is step 2. This is a step 1. Step 2. Step 2 is formation of carbocation. Formation of carbocation. So this ethyl oxonium ion loses stable water molecule. How? I'll write here once again. CH3CH2. This is OHH. Right? This is ethyl oxonium ion. This ethyl oxonium ion loses water molecule. How? This oxygen having positive charge, carrying positive charge. When oxygen carry positive charge, this is highly unstable. Therefore, what happened? This oxygen takes this bonded electron towards its side, right? This, bonded electron taken by this oxygen towards its side. Therefore, when this bonded electron taken by oxygen, then what happened? This bond will cleave. When this bond is cleaved, CH3, it becomes CH2 plus, because this carbon losing its bond. Then plus you will get water. So this is a elimination of water. It forms carbocation. This is a ethyl carbocation. Ethyl carbocation is a intermediate. Now here important is, this is a slow step. Important for objective. It is a slow step, and RDS, rate determining step. You will study in chemical kinetics. Therefore, this particular step is a slow step and a rate determining step. It means a rate of reaction depends on only this step. Next, here one more important point. Of course, it is a slow step and rate determining step, but here carbocation forming as intermediate. So we have studied wherever carbocation formed as intermediate, or else take once again note. So wherever carbocation formed as intermediate, it may undergo rearrangement. It means carbocation may undergo rearrangement, right? Carbocation may undergo rearrangement. So that already we have studied. Once again we will study with some more example later. So therefore, now it is a second step. In second step we will get carbocation. Next, step 3. In step 3, elimination of proton, nothing but deprotonation of carbocation. It is also called deprotonation of carbocation. So carbocation undergo deprotonation, means eliminate proton. So when ethyl carbocation, this is a ethyl carbocation, already we have written in second step. So this ethyl carbocation undergo deprotonation. It means it eliminate proton. From which carbon? From beta carbon. So therefore, you just identify beta carbon. There is only one beta carbon. From the beta carbon, you just remove the proton. It is CH3, no? You write CH2. It is, I'll write H. So therefore, now this bond is shifted here. This sigma bond shifted as a pi bond. Then this H is come out as a H plus. So therefore, the final product is CH2 double bond CH2 plus H plus. This is a proton. Students, remember important. In beginning, we have added proton. It is H plus. So right, H plus added to ethyl alcohol. Then after the reaction, again H plus is produced. That means where H plus is a what? H plus or nothing but sulfuric acid is a what? It is beginning is it is used. Then after the reaction, it is regenerated. This is possible with only catalyst. So therefore, where sulfuric acid is a catalyst in this reaction. So this is the mechanism of dehydration of alcohols. Okay, so therefore here one important point you need to remember, in this dehydration of alcohol, carbocation is a forming as intermediate. When carbocation formed as an intermediate, it may undergo rearrangement. So therefore, write one note. In dehydration reaction, take down. In dehydration of alcohol. In dehydration of alcohol, carbocation formed as an intermediate. Carbocation formed as intermediate, which may undergo rearrangement, rearrangement reaction, which may undergo rearrangement reaction before protonation, before deprotonation, before deprotonation. Okay, let's see 1-2 examples. Yeah, these questions are important particularly for objective. Let us take one example is this. It is CH3, CH3, right? It is CH2, right? It is, take CS3, right? CS3, CH2, OH, which is reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid. Usually heating is required. This heating shown with delta. Write the product. What is the product? So here you need to identify, you need to remember mechanism here, because otherwise you can't get product. You can't write proper product. See here, if you see the mechanism, in mechanism you will get carbocation. No? This is the alcohol given. This alcohol reacts with, proton. It is a protonation, no? Right? Protonation. What do you get? You will get oxonium ion. Oxonium ion followed by removal of water. Then finally you will get what? Carbocation. That I want to write. Which carbocation you will get? You will get a primary carbocation. So this is a primary carbocation. This primary carbocation, it may undergo rearrangement. Why? You need to see stability. So here you see adjacent there is a methyl. Suppose if this methyl group is shifted here, it is called 1,2 methyl shift. 1,2 methyl shift. When methyl group shifted here, you will get tertiary carbocation. CH3, it is CH3. This is a positive. It is CH2, CH3. Right. Now next, is there any rearrangement reaction? Rearrangement. Tertiary is more stable, no? Therefore, now there is no further rearrangement. Now next is deprotonation. Deprotonation from where? Beta carbon. So therefore deprotonation from beta carbon. Now identify beta carbons, beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. When there are 2 or more beta carbons are present, you can apply the Sage-Jaffe rule. According to Sage-Jaffe rule, poorer become poor. CH3, CH3, CH2. CH2 carbon is a poor carbon. So therefore CH3, this CH3 as it is, double bond CH, CH3. This is the product, important. So this this product we have written according to mechanism. Like that, you just write one more product example. CH3, concentrated sulfuric acid. Next, concentrated sulfuric acid, heating is common. Next, another example, heating. Come on, tell me. So in this example, identify alpha, it is a beta 1, it is beta 2. So beta 1 has only one hydrogen, beta 2 has two hydrogens, right? So therefore you just remove the OH from beta, that is alpha carbon. So remove the hydrogen from where? Either beta 1 or beta 2. So you should remove from beta 1 because poorer become poor. Therefore the product is this. Next, second example, this example. In this example, this is a OH group. OH group present carbon is called alpha carbon. Now here is two hydrogen, okay, it is a beta 1, this is one hydrogen, it is beta 2. Okay, now tell me from where hydrogen should be removed. Beta 1 has two hydrogen, beta 2 has one hydrogen, here two hydrogen. Suppose if you remove the, no, it is, if you apply Kirchhoff rule, we supposed to remove hydrogen from beta 2, then you will get double bond here. This is called conjugated double bond. Remember, in cyclic ring, conjugated double bonds are highly unstable. It means double bond should not come like continuously. Double bond illide but illide. This kind of, if double bond pakka bandre, that is we called conjugated double bond. Conjugated double bonds are not permitted in cyclic ring. That's one reason. Now suppose if hydrogen is removed from this beta, that is a beta 1, again double bond illi barutte. Double bond illi bandre nodi, double bond, single bond, double bond. This is called conjugation. Again conjugation ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Conjugation ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದರೆ stability ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So that means, so you need to remove the hydrogen from where? From beta 1, so that you will get extended conjugation. So when extended conjugation is possible, the stability is increases, right? Now same example, same reason here also. Here there are two hydrogen here, there is a one hydrogen here. Even though two hydrogen, so you should remove hydrogen here, OH here, so that you will get conjugation. In conjugation you will get, it is nothing but benzene. This benzene ring is a most stable because of conjugated double bonds. Not, sorry, it is a, this is called cumulated. Now what I said, I don't remember. So if I tell wrong, please correct it. If double bonds are present, like double bond continuously, that is called cumulative double bonds, not conjugated. Conjugated is alternate. Now the reaction between ethyl alcohol and concentrated sulfuric acid gives different product at different temperature. So this is also important. Take the statement. The reaction between ethyl alcohol and concentrate sulfuric acid gives different products. The reaction between ethyl alcohol and concentrate sulfuric acid gives different product at different temperature. At different temperature. So let us take example. Example is ethyl alcohol CH3CH2OH. It is reacts with concentrate sulfuric acid H2SO4 at 110 degrees Celsius. Right? Ethyl alcohol reacts with concentrate sulfuric acid at 110 degrees Celsius. See here, in ethyl alcohol, this OH, okay, plus sulfuric acid produces what? H plus HSO4 minus, we know it, right? Therefore here H plus and OH, water is removed, then CH3, CH2, HSO4. This is called ethyl hydrogen sulfate. Ethyl hydrogen sulfate. It means at 110 degrees Celsius you will get ethyl hydrogen sulfate. This ethyl hydrogen sulfate, it reacts with another mole of sulfuric acid, H2SO4. Another mole of ethyl alcohol, right? So in another mole of ethyl alcohol, it is OH and this H is removed, then the product is CH3, CH2, right? Here SO4 and one more, that means twice SO4. This is called diethyl sulfate, plus you get water. So it means ethyl alcohol reacts with concentrate sulfuric acid at 140 degrees Celsius. You'll get initially you'll get ethyl hydrogen sulfate, but finally diethyl sulfate is the product at 110 degrees Celsius. Important, it is at 110. Whereas ethyl alcohol can also react with concentrated sulfuric acid at 140 degrees Celsius. It is concentrated sulfuric acid, but the temperature is 140. Temperature differ. So at 140 degrees Celsius, take the 2 moles of ethyl alcohol. Okay, I will take like this, CH3 CH2OH plus one more ethyl alcohol is this CH3 CH2O. Therefore you just remove water. What do you get? CH3 CH2O and O CH2 CH3. It means you will get ether. This is we study in preparation of ether. It is a diethyl ether, important, plus water. That means ethyl alcohol reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid at 140 degrees Celsius. You will get diethyl ether. At 110 degrees Celsius, diethyl sulfate. At 140 degrees Celsius, diethyl ether. Then finally, ethyl alcohol also reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid. Ethyl alcohol reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid at 170 degrees Celsius. This is already we have studied. At 170 degrees Celsius. At 170 degrees Celsius, it undergo dehydration. This is alpha carbon, it is beta carbon. Remove the OH from alpha carbon, remove the H from beta carbon, then the product is CH2 double bond CH2 plus H2O. You will get alkene, that is ethene. So therefore, now here important is 110, 140, 170. 110 degrees Celsius diethyl sulfate, 140 degrees Celsius diethyl ether, 170 degrees Celsius ethene. But all three are what? Reaction with concentrated sulfuric acid only, but three are differ in temperatures. So therefore, ethyl alcohol reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid, gives different product at different temperature. So this is the dehydration of alcohol. Okay. So these reaction comes under. So these reactions comes under what? Reactions involving cleavage of CO bond. Next, we have some more reactions of alcohol, that is comes under general reactions of alcohol. Let's see general reactions of alcohols. General reactions of alcohol. In general reactions, we have one, oxidation of alcohol, 2, reduction of alcohol. 3 dehydrogenation, not dehydration, dehydrogenation. Dehydration different, dehydrogenation different. So dehydrogenation is removal of hydrogen. So dehydrogenation of alcohol. 4th one is test to distinguish primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols. So these reactions study, okay, under general reactions of alcohol. Let us study one by one. 1 oxidation of alcohol, 2 reduction of alcohol, 3 dehydrogenation of alcohol, and test to distinguish primary, secondary, tertiary alcohol. This is nothing but Lucas test. Okay, so it is even important for Viva question. What is Lucas reagent? What is a Lucas test? So it is more commonly asked in Viva questions. Okay, let's see one by one. First one, oxidation of alcohols. Oxidation of alcohols. Okay, right. So here alcohols, primary, secondary, even tertiary also, but not tertiary very commonly. Let's see primary, secondary first. So alcohols undergo oxidation usually in presence of strong oxidizing agents. So alcohols undergo oxidation in presence of strong oxidizing agents. So they form aldehydes and ketones. These aldehydes and ketones further undergo oxidation, they form corresponding carboxylic acids. Okay, so therefore, but here the oxidation of primary alcohol different, the oxidation of secondary is different, even oxidation of tertiary also different. Let's see, first is oxidation of primary alcohols. Oxidation of primary alcohols. So how does primary alcohols can undergo oxidation reaction? So here primary alcohols can undergo oxidation in the presence of strong oxidizing agents like primary alcohols undergo oxidation in presence of strong oxidizing agent such as alkaline KMnO4, or even acidified KMnO4 or acidified K2 Cr2O7, even HNO3 also concentrated strong oxidizing agent. So therefore primary alcohols undergo oxidation in the presence of any one of these strong oxidizing agent. They form corresponding aldehydes. They form corresponding aldehyde which is undergo further oxidation. These aldehydes undergo further oxidation to form carboxylic acids, having same number of carbon. Important, carboxylic acids having same number of carbon atoms. It means let us take one general reaction. I will take RCH2OH. This is a primary alcohol, right? So this primary alcohol undergo oxidation. You can take in presence of any one of oxidizing agent. I will take alkaline KMnO4, potassium permanganate. It is a strong oxidizing agent. In presence of alkaline KMnO4, strong oxidizing agent, primary alcohol undergo oxidation. When primary alcohol undergo oxidation, it form first aldehyde. It means, you see, this OH attached carbon is called primary carbon. This primary carbon, this whole group converted into aldehyde group. It means you will get RCHO. This is called aldehyde. So primary alcohol get converted into that corresponding aldehyde. Then this aldehyde further undergo oxidation, because alkaline KMnO4 is a strong oxidizing agent. This alkaline KMnO4 strong oxidizing agent, therefore, so this alkaline KMnO4, it converts this aldehyde into further carboxylic acid. In carboxylic acid, see, this aldehyde group just convert into COOH. This is called carboxylic acid. Now here, important is carboxylic acid with the same number of carbon. It means, you see, primary alcohol has how many carbon? Let us take R group is same. Next here, 1 carbon, this is 1 carbon. It means the number of carbon atom present in carboxylic acid is similar to the number of carbon atom present in alcohol. So therefore, primary alcohol first convert into aldehyde. This aldehyde further converted into what? Carboxylic acids. So this is the oxidation of primary alcohol. All primary alcohol can undergo this way oxidation. Let us take 1-2 example. Take ethyl alcohol. It undergo oxidation in presence of strong oxidizing agent. This oxidation is shown with nascent oxygen. It is nascent oxygen. Okay, because alkaline KMnO4 or strong oxidizing agent produces nascent oxygen. Therefore, it is ethyl alcohol undergo oxidation. Come on, tell me. Ethyl alcohol plus any one of oxidizing agent, it forms what? Aldehyde. How to write aldehyde? You just convert this CH2OH, primary, this alpha hydrogen, alpha carbon. Alpha carbon should convert it into aldehyde group. CH3 as it is CHO. It is called acetaldehyde. This acetaldehyde further undergo oxidation. It form carboxylic acid. It is a acetic acid. So therefore, whatever primary alcohol you take, the order of reaction is same. Let us take one more example. Take, it is a cyclohexyl, it is CH2OH. It is also primary alcohol. This primary alcohol undergo oxidation, any one of the strong oxidizing agent. Come on, tell me, this CH2OH group you convert into carboxylic group. Sorry, not benzene. Now first convert into aldehyde group, then finally it convert into carboxylic group. So like that, all primary alcohols can undergo oxidation in this order. Then what about secondary alcohols? So secondary alcohol is different. Now let us say oxidation of secondary alcohols. Oxidation of secondary alcohol. Right. So secondary alcohols can also undergo oxidation in the presence of strong oxidizing agent, but they do not form aldehyde. Here secondary alcohol form ketones, whereas primary alcohol form aldehydes, secondary alcohol form ketone. Then these ketones undergo further oxidation. The final product is carboxylic acid only, but the difference is carboxylic acid with less number of carbon atom compared to parent alcohol. So therefore, the statement is secondary alcohols undergo oxidation undergo oxidation in the presence of strong oxidizing agent. You can take any one of the strong oxidizing agent to form ketone. First they form ketone, which is undergo further oxidation. Ketones undergo further oxidation to form carboxylic acid with less number of carbon compared to parent alcohol. Compared to parent alcohol, this carboxylic acid has less number of carbon. Then how this reaction? Let us take, it is CH2, okay, CH2, CH, okay, take OH, this is R, right? It is a secondary alcohol. Now this secondary alcohol undergo oxidation. Take any strong oxidizing agent. I'll take acidified K2Cr2O7, which can be shown with nascent oxygen. This acidified potassium dichromate is a strong oxidizing agent which oxidizes secondary alcohol. Secondary alcohol into ketone, you will get initially ketone. So in ketone, this CHOH convert into C double bond O, R is as it is. Next, this ketone undergo further oxidation in the presence of again K2Cr2O7, it is acidified. Then next, now here, this bond is broken. It is called carbon-carbon bond. So carbon-carbon bond is broken. Now this carbon get converted into carboxylic group, and this carbon also convert into carboxylic group. You will get carboxylic acids with less number of carbon. Then what is the difference between oxidation of aldehyde, oxidation of ketone? In oxidation of aldehyde, there is no CC, carbon-carbon bond cleavage is not possible. It means there is no CC bond cleavage in aldehyde oxidation. So therefore, in aldehyde oxidation or aldehyde undergo oxidation, there is only CH bond cleavage. So CH bond cleavage takes place in oxidation of aldehyde. So therefore, when aldehyde undergo oxidation, there is a CH bond cleavage, whereas there is a carbon-carbon bond cleavage takes place in oxidation of ketone. It means when ketone undergo oxidation, there is a CC bond cleavage, not CH bond cleavage. Here, the cleavage of CC bond is, much more difficult compared to CH bond. The cleavage of CH bond is very easy compared to CC bond. So therefore, now this is the reason aldehydes, that is primary alcohols, can easily undergo oxidation compared to secondary alcohols. Secondary alcohol not that easily undergo oxidation compared to primary alcohol. The reason is secondary alcohol there is a cleavage of carbon-carbon bond, primary alcohol there is a cleavage of CH bond. So let us take one example. It is a CH3 CHOH CH3. It is a isopropyl alcohol. Take isopropyl alcohol which is undergo oxidation in presence of any one of oxidizing agent, strong oxidizing agent, then what happen? This secondary alcoholic group convert into keto group, CH3, C double bond O, CH3, it is called acetone. This acetone undergo further oxidation. Okay, now see, this is a carbonyl group. Now this carbonyl group is a adjacent is a methyl, both the group are same, methyl group, therefore cleavage takes place either the side, either of this side or this side. When cleavage, carbon bond cleavage takes place this side, then what do you get? 1 2 carbon acid is CH3COH, it is called acetic acid, plus this is 1 carbon methyl group, no, which convert into carbon dioxide and water is formed. So this is what oxidation of secondary alcohol. Okay.